Hello, Professor. This is Arista Kirby, and thank you for choosing to view my presentation over lean supply chains. Before we begin, here are a couple of statistics that I believe should be shared about the topic of lean supply chains and are important for future business professionals to take note about moving forward in their careers. According to Bloomberg, nearly 8% of surplus stock globally will ultimately end up as waste, with about $163 billion of inventory tossed annually. An average of 29% of companies say that the bulk of their environmental impact comes from supply chain operations. The majority of them are investing 5% or less of their budgets to invest in improvements. Moving on to the main topic of this presentation, which is lean supply chains. What is a lean supply chain, you may ask? Lean supply chain's most simple definition is a supply chain that supplies goods and products to the customer with little to no waste or loss. While doing research, lean supply chains are known very well for its helpful advantages. The Fundamentals of Supply Chain Management textbook highlights that lean supply chain does not only focus on lean, but also the cost to serve. This means that the part that does not add value to activities that make effort to making the customer happy is cut out, therefore making a supply chain lean. In this process, waste is also known to be reduced as well as reducing costs. Inducing a lean supply chain method is known to better the management within the supply chain, making the flow and demand better in production with less mistakes and errors within the entire process. The engagement level is overall better with the lean supply chain, increasing the productivity as well as the efficient levels within the chain. This results in a better collaboration between suppliers, manufacturers, and customers because everyone wants to achieve the same goal, which I hope is to satisfy the customer. Statistics have shown that there is an overall improvement while using a lean supply chain. According to the Fundamentals of Supply Chain Management textbook, in today's business management world, lean method is still the most popular one across the world. More than 70% of organizations have, to various extents, exercised lean. Doing research about lean supply chain, there has been major findings that I have found out about this topic. The first major finding is that there is a huge competitive edge within this topic, because all companies want to reduce their costs as well as improve customer service to unlock all business potential. Moving forward, the differences between lean supply chain and agile supply chain was made clear. While agile supply chain focuses on changing the environment of the business world, lean supply chain focuses on quality control, and there seems to also be a huge discovery in customer trends while using lean supply chains, and continuous improvement shows overall. After much research and statistical showings about supply chains, the realization was made that there was way too much loss due to overproduction, which is why people decided to go the lean supply chain route, which fixed the problem of overproduction and lessons focus on a backup plan to deal with the topics such as overproduction. Typically, when warehouses have way too much product, this would result in sending resale stores the product as well as sales and discounts being placed and even freebies of products because someone didn't even make it off the shelf in time of its damage or expiration. Now, moving on to the community and business impact that lean supply chains have. Lean supply chains have been extremely effective with the use of time, making it easier for manufacturing goods to be at better quality control and really focusing on improving the process to eliminate mistakes. The overall motion and agility within the supply chain will be quick to respond and easy to adjust accordingly. I said previously, cost is definitely a big part in referring to this method of lean supply chain. Cutting back on an overproduction of items could potentially save money because there will be less waste of a product or service, and since there will be a reduce in quantities of items, there will be a less inventory which people would potentially waste. Some people would say this is a bad or good thing. For example, COVID-19, which was a sickness that affected people globally, resulting in many people to have to quarantine inside their houses for months. During this time, there was a lot of products that were in short supply, and this scared many people about whether their needs will be fulfilled. This leads to why some people believe that lean supply chains could negatively affect business ability to fulfill the needs of their customers. The idea of lean supply chain soon began to expose the risks that have to be taken while becoming such a supply chain. And this leads to the question of whether or not supply chains should be ready for any circumstance, like COVID-19, and whether the overproduction is necessary just in case. According to Supply Chain Dive, 42% of respondents agree that supply chains were too lean based on their experience during the pandemic, but 49% disagreed. In conclusion, are lean supply chains recommended? Overall, research points to yes, and in my opinion, I believe that lean supply chains are the way to go. It has been stated many times that overall improvements come with the lean supply chain. Improvements such as work quality and better productivity within the warehouse, as well as greater flexibility due to more time being in the hands of the corporation. There is also a big decrease in errors to happen since time is more accessible. Signs also point to improvements within cost and waste. Warehouses would be able to decrease the size of their inventories, which can lead to a cut down of price for the warehouse's space. Also, money will be saved within the transportation aspect as well, due to the excess money not being spent on unnecessary selections of shipping and handling. Once again, there is a huge success rate while using the method of a lean supply chain. According to the article on how does supply chain shape up, companies have made significant improvements to manufacturing, service, and maintenance operations through lean techniques, eliminating waste and flexibility and variability in their systems, and reducing costs by up to 50% in the process. Thank you for listening to my informational presentation on lean supply chains, and I hope this will give insight for further decisions made in the future business world. Thank you.